Just had a realization that nobody heard my mic. So go figure. So many different things I need to work on. And I bet the phone camera quality is going to be better than the actual camera. Oh, Riddle's dad. Just cuz. Wow. The Riddle's dad. The rattles down. Riddle's dad. This is actually more interesting without the volume and then just utilizing the uh, subtitles. The autofocus is rough, buddy. Rattles down. We got him. Love it. Yes, we did. Dadgummit, Jar! It would be interesting if this ended up being the bat signal that called out Jar, because I know Jar has a casting workshop role. At least I'm pretty sure he does. The Paul. Ball? Paul? Oh boy. Yes, it was. I will say that was such an interesting concert. First off, that is extremely misleading. They had both Floofy and Chance there. Floofy, he's gone. But and that's Chance. The heck. The heck. I will say the march over for version 1 was one of the coolest things about the entire experience. I don't know if they actually have footage from the V1 party, but that thing was wild. Jar, we need to get you a camera that autofocus is better than this. This guy's the real star of the show right here. Oh my. Well, this is why we have everything off. I'm regretting my decision just because of the amount of shirtless going on this match. Not bad at all. That was a good one. See if I can find another one. Slight regret the amount of shirtless bodies in that video. And then the amount of times that the camera lost focus. Jar, help me, dude. Help me. More and more of these are going to be coming out, and it makes me happy. There are already quite a few out, but Okay. Let's get at least a little bit of chill music in the backdrop. I don't know that we're gonna get anybody right off the bat. Okay.
Yo,
Yo, yo.
what's up?
You know, hanging out. How you doing, Vod?
Good. Trying to figure out what's going on with my microphone because it sounds weird when I listened back to the VODs, and I didn't know it sounded the way it did. So I'm trying to see if I can figure that out.
So what do you mean by weird?
Like very compressed, I think is it. Cause let me go back to another clip that I have from my reel and compare the two.
Yeah, we can do a little bit of sound doctoring. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I definitely need help with that.
sounds a lot better than the absolute nothing I've had for about 45 minutes now.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I'm on the wrong thing. Yeah, I assume people are busy with Labor Day weekend and all that.
That's most likely what it is, but I was... Literally, it's been too long, and I just could not do one today. Because I don't have the ability to make it up on Thursday.
Okay, my hosting reel, I'm using a different microphone, so that doesn't help. And let's pull up the VOD so I can hear. Maybe I'm just like being ultra critical on the sound of it. But
Has anything changed recently? As far as
I know, no.
Your setup.
But maybe I'm on like the wrong setup for the mic or something, or I didn't fix things after taking it all apart to bring it to Worlds.
Maybe. Well, that is one thing that I do notice with especially Windows, specifically. Certain things, after you unplug and replug them in, don't always reassociate themselves.
Yeah.
So, like, going into stream stuff today, I had to reassociate everything. I had a couple things that I had to retune. But
let me see. Can I host this one? No, that's Div 2.
by the way, only criticism I would have of this last season. With the standing desk, you need to better center yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like the greatest. Oh, you mean like have a actual mark for when I come back from camera and stuff?
Well, kind of, yes. Like, I don't know if you have the monitor straight in front of you.
I do
or not. You don't? Oh, okay. So there'll be times where, as you're moving, you have a tendency to pull yourself off to one side.
That's fair. That's fair.
So we end up cutting off on the side your face.
Yeah. I also changed my camera angle or lens recently, so that probably messed with it a bit too. Because it was a wider angle before, so it was kind of easier. But yeah, I have like 2 monitors on one side, 2 monitors on the other side, camera in sort of middle, but not really middle. It's kind of odd with my setup right now. Because if it went straight back, then things would look kind of weird. I need to work on that in the off season to see if I can find like the optimal angle. And just find like a mark I could put on the ground and be like, stand here so you're center all the time. So no, that definitely happened coming back from like breaks and stuff when it would come back to our cameras. It's like, because it's hard to figure out exactly where that would be in the spot because of like how close up this lens is compared to my old one I was using.
So as far as what do you have on your monitor straight in front of you? Just all sorts of statistics, or I imagine.
So basically, let me take a picture and I'll post it in production so you can kind of see the setup. Ignore the mess below though. It's kind of dark in here because power went out earlier. Actually, I'll just DM it to you. That'll be easier. So like the camera is in the middle there, but pointed to the side a little bit so that it shows the light panels and then also a little bit of that picture in the background. So finding the center is kind of hard because the desk is like straight, but I'm curved, if that makes sense. Because the way this camera is set up.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's mainly because
So
my
when
room
you
was set up a specific way before for a wide angle lens, and then going into like a closer shot, I had to like adjust a bit more too to not show like my closet.
So when you veer to the side, do you have the information on, I'm gonna assume, your right side?
So yesterday at least, I had on the top right monitor.
That
the
makes
feed.
so much sense. Okay. Yes. So those little dabs to the right are probably because you're trying to even things out as far as vision wise.
Yes.
Oh, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what? Is the fall back to the left natural just because of conversation, or that is the other thing?
On the left is where like I would have the information stuff. So
As well. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because there will be times where, like, towards the end of a point that you make, you'll like fall back really quick and you'll turn to the left. Almost complete 90-degree body shoulder turn for a second. Sometimes it's for a laugh. Sometimes it's but you definitely are still getting used to the whole prospect of standing desk.
Yeah, because like it's weird with my current setup because I also have like my bed to the other side of the room, so it's like not having the best like dedicated space for this stuff, and it can't be like directly straight on either because the way my room's set up. Because I would have to have like the desk take up the center of the room for that to work properly, but then couldn't fit a bed in there, so I'll have to experiment with it a little bit more.
That's literally one of my only criticism that I can come up with that's pressing. But you always seem to have really good points that you bring forth, and
thank you.
The organization that is sharp. I like it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I try to make sure I hit the points, I hit the timings, and all that too.
You hit the timings ridiculously well.
I feel like the only way I could make sure I hit it even better is to have like an actual accurate time with seconds monitored like right in front of me too, so that I can just have that up. But apart from that, I always like check the time on the clock on my computer on like my top left monitor, and that's also where I would have like the run the show. So just like kind of go down the list, see where we're at, see how much time we need to make up eventually just by like glancing over. If we're going over, then like speed up on the next segment a little bit, sort of thing. But once we get into the rigmarole of actual series and all that, then it's kind of, just go through the flow of things. Well, I'm glad we kept to the time for the hour pre-show. That was the biggest worry for me, is like, okay, do we go too long or do we go too short on some of these interviews? And then still felt like we kept a good time, so it was good. Okay, back to figuring out audio stuff.
Absolutely. Go for it.
So let's see. So that's how that sounds. How does this show sound? Oh, I see exactly what you mean, like leaning towards the left a little bit on this other one I'm looking at too.
Yeah,
But I think since
left,
I adjusted
but stage
the angle,
right.
it's not as bad. Yeah, exactly. I need to figure out. I need to get like one of those. Have you seen those? What is it? It's like a beanbag cross mark that they use on like stage productions. That's what I need. So I figure out, okay, I can feel it with my feet exactly where I need to stand once I reset myself. If I get that, then I'll be perfect for that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just with this current setup, it's weird because like I'm at an angle from the desk, so I don't know exactly where I need to be closer, farther back enough, or far back enough for that stuff too. So that's cool. That's good that that's like the main thing that I need to work on because I can fix that.
Oh yeah, very easy to fix. Yeah, and more than anything else, it's just getting used to trying to remain purposefully stationary.
Yeah.
And if I can do it, anyone can do it.
True.
You ask anybody who knows what I'm like on camera behind the scenes when I'm not on camera.
I think I like moving forward and back too much. Maybe that's what I need to hamper down on a
like,
little bit too.
I pace a lot when I cast.
Yeah.
So that in and of itself is very interesting. But you can ask Jesse what I look like behind the scenes on camera when I'm not on camera, and it's like I don't stop moving. It's it's almost a veritable miracle that I stand still and engage people long enough in the camera to have the type of on-screen presence that I do. Here. Okay.
Okay, never mind. It doesn't sound too much different, actually.
I
think it was just the headphones I was using to listen to it originally. Made it sound kind of weird. I need to fix those headphones then. So I think also the last time I was putting together a reel, I was using my AT2035, which is just, what is it? Not a headset mic, but like a XLR microphone sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So sounds a little different, and I think I need to ease up on the compression of this a little bit. But now what should I change for that compressor? Because I don't know what most of these settings do. I just found something online. It's like, this sounds good.
That is another thing that I should do right now. I need to work on, I want to tweak the sound of my dynamic microphone. Not the one that I'm currently using.
Yeah.
But it would actually be a very smart thing for me to do. It'd be even more fun to do it on the screen.
True.
Listen to some of the little intricacies.
Oh god, this video is lagging. Okay, let's see what this guy's equalizer sounds like. He's only got a mini, so can't really do as much. Am I using dynamic on this? Let's see. I am. Okay, cool. And he has it set to 51 gain. Oof. That's a lot of gain.
We do like pain in this house.
Yeah, my main thing is like I usually have to have a fan on in this room, so I like to have it a little bit lower. because it does not circulate too well compared to the rest of the apartment.
Oh, I am gone in the head for a minute.
Okay.
Gotta plug in and reassign the microphone for a second.
So 90 hertz, they are at 6. So let's try that. 160. I should probably make a new duplicate. There we go. Copy. Discard the saves. Okay, cool. 160. See how that sounds. Okay. Do. Oh, that's definitely deeper. That's interesting. 1.5. Test. We'll see how these sound differently. 4.5.
Gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello. I'm not here long. Just saw you guys chilling in here and wanted to come say hello.
Welcome.
Yes.
Finicking with microphone settings.
Okay. Fair enough.
Do. Oh, did I mess up that setting?
You guys actually doing a workshop tonight or no?
I know Kendo was going to do something if people showed up, but nobody.
Yeah, it's going to be
came.
more of a come as you are because of Labor Day sort of thing. So I'm struggling to find certain things to do. And that leads to everything being, ooh, okay, now I can hear myself. It's a beautiful day. Test. Ooh.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day outside. Hello there.
Did you just go Billy Madison for a reason?
Oh my goodness.
We do like to have a little bit of fun up here.
No, don't tell her.
No, don't tell her at all. And listen here, young Curtis. We don't like that sort of thing up in here. Oh, no.
I am participating in a stream with a friend of mine for Mario Party Superstars.
Ooh.
Fun.
So I am not sure how this is going to go because just got the game yesterday. So
I wish I had
It's definitely better
Superstars.
than the other one.
Yes, it is so much better than the other ones.
I actually had pretty good fun with the Super Mario Party. I have that one too.
Yeah, I forget which one that we have off the top of my head, but I do know we have one of them. I think it is the Super Mario Party.
I just didn't like having to use the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, fair. You can use the Pro Controller with the Mario Party Superstars, right?
Yeah, with the new one, you can use the Pro Controller. It's nice.
Nice.
And they
Yeah,
have
that's
like a
the
lot of the
only
old
controller
mini
I use.
games and some old maps that they use for it. So I wish
Yep.
they had more maps though. That's always
Yeah.
my critique. Because they know they can.
Well, you know what'll happen is 6 months down the road they'll release it as an add-on for the game and
Yep.
pretend like it wasn't in the cards all along. So, yep. Same way they did Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Testing. Oh
adding
my.
48 tracks to that.
What in the world? Okay,
All right, y'all.
I have committed dank memes.
What have you done?
I have.
I'm headed back there. I just wanted to
Holy
come over and say
crap.
hello. I'll see you guys.
Okay,
good.
let's see what we're doing right here. And wow. Wow. What? No. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, I just realized how stupid I'm being.
What'd you do?
I'm currently messing around with my equalizer a little bit, and I should have
Okay.
taken notes before I started screwing around.
Okay, let's see what the difference is between these two. So save, test, 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 test,
There
test,
we
test.
go.
I don't really notice much. I need to record this to actually hear it. Testing 1, 2, 3 with new equalizer settings.
That sounds really good to me.
Testing 1, 2, 3 with new equalizer settings.
Number 1 is better.
Okay.
At least that's coming out of my ears. You could
Yeah.
try it one more time.
I'm gonna listen. I just recorded those both just to see if I can hear it better. Okay, I'll try out the new settings for a while then.
So let's see here. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Ooh, okay. Okay. Bottom end. Bottom end sounds very interesting. Dark, 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 dark. Test, 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 test. Ooh.
Testing, 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 testing. Oh, that doesn't really do much. Test, 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 test. Nope. Doesn't do much either. Test, 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 test. Okay, cool. Test, 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 test. Okay, I don't really need to change anything for that then. Cool. Should manage my subscriptions on Twitch. Because I keep forgetting that. Unless you cancel them, they just keep going and going and
I
going.
know, right? They just keep on going and going. But I do appreciate the fact that Twitch added, like, if you buy 6 months, they'll discount it a little bit.
Yeah, that's nice.
That is definitely something that I would appreciate quite a. Oh my goodness. Now I sound like I'm in a tunnel. Hello.
You sound the same to me currently.
Really?
Yeah.
So it sounds the same from here all the way up to here?
Yeah, I didn't hear any changes.
Weird. What about now?
Nope, still the same.
And if I let go?
I wonder.
Wonder if, let's see. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm the only one who hears that. That is kind of weird.
Could be based on the routing, maybe.
It might be based upon the routing.
Because I know if I do this, then it makes it sound like I'm coming from an old-timey radio.
Hello and welcome. Wait a minute. Ooh, okay.
There we go, I heard
forgot
that.
which one. Ooh, yeah. Hello, everybody. There's my old-timey radio voice.
The hard tune is always like really weird. And then like the robot just doesn't sound good at all.
Yeah, it never has sounded very good.
Echo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the College
I'm in a
Carball.
well.
College Carball Summer Series. My name is Kendo. But you can call me Ken. Huh? We're going to be best friends throughout the rest of the night.
Yeah, I think it's cutting in and out for you.
It's cutting
Whatever
in and
that,
out. Oh,
preset
no.
setting is.
Oh,
If
no.
it's the reverb, oh whoa, that's something else.
Wait a minute.
I am in an abandoned tunnel.
It sounds like... La 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 la.
Gosh.
Wait, can you even hear me?
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Wow,
Oh,
it
wow.
doesn't even pick it. Wow.
Okay, I turned that off just because it doesn't want to pick up. Okay, let's see here. Voice and video. Voice automatic determine.
Hello everybody and welcome. Wow. That's literally too high. So as we turn off the noise suppression, it's a beautiful day today.
There we go. Yeah, that's good.
Because it just classifies my entire voice like noise. Haha.
Oh gosh. That just reminds me of what is it? What's that game? Is it BioShock? I think it's
Yes, BioShock. Everybody loves BioShock. BioShock's one of everyone's favorite games. Just imagine somebody deciding to play Yu-Gi-Oh like this. Haha, it's your move, Yugi.
That's great.
I truly don't understand. Why does that man have such a weird voice?
I wish I understood as well.
It's always like super over the top too.
It really is. It's terribly over the top. Let's see what I forget what all else I forget what else I worked on here. That doesn't sound.
I forget what. Oh!
There it is.
Say? No.
Oh,
There we go. How's it going now, baby? Oh, yeah, baby. Headshot. Kilimanjaro. Double kill. Amazing. Double kill. Reciprocity. The new complexity roster. Now consisting of 33% less South American players.
Yep. I wonder how that's gonna work. And they're bringing over someone from Europe too for it, which is interesting.
Has that actually been confirmed yet, or?
I mean, all but confirmed, you know. You know how these roster moves go. I just can't wait for the next season to be announced.
I'm kind of sad. Just do. Wait, what? Bass, I have a surprise for y'all later. Not esports related. Oxy, somebody I've never heard of on the Twitter side. Let's see. Aspiring freelance Rocket League, CS:GO, and okay, so it's someone Australian and homegrown. So you and Hyperia got engaged? Question mark.
I saw that. Yeah.
Wait a minute. We can see that happening. By the way, if I remember right, we had discussed the idea of you potentially doing like maybe like an hour-long lecture of some sort for
Oh yeah.
a casting workshop. Have you thought any ideas on that through, like what you would want to do it on, etc.?
I feel like I need to plan it out a little bit.
Yeah. Let's
like what would
let's work
be
on that.
some like worthwhile topics to cover? I guess would be the first place to start for that. It's like
I think
trying to
I
think.
do feel like networking would be a really good one with
oh
you
god,
involved.
I would say yes, but not for me because I feel like I still need to improve with my networking.
Well, and that's half the fun with networking, though. Networking is never a concrete presentation, but what you have done is create a very good network for yourself.
That's true.
I feel like your network is as good, if not better, than mine. And I have, I don't know, how many years have you been going now?
Little over 5.
Okay, so I have
maybe a year on you, just from
Yeah.
my hobbyist times. And Lord knows I didn't do too much help for myself then.
Yeah. I mean, that's all of us though, right? When we first start out.
Oh, mercy. Yeah.
Unless you're Rome DMV.
Unless you are Rome coming in professional mentality just from the very start and able to create
That's just crazy.
gratuitous
I'm
amounts of
flabbergasted.
content. Me as well, but also at the same time, I'm angry at Rome at the moment because the Danger Taco stream most recently, he completely and utterly committed a crime against me and kept me out from the top 6 of a community day.
Oh, the Fall Guys stuff?
Oh my gosh, it was actually I think it's Wall Guys is the name of the map.
Oh God, yeah, that
And
one.
he got up first before everybody else, and he ended up just waiting on the side
Oh, I hate
for
that.
me to get up. And I just barely managed to get up without him pushing me back down right off the top. But he kept on hugging me the entirety of that. He waited for everybody else to get there and then put himself in as the last qualifier. And
Lordy.
it's like, wow, this hurts my soul.
I've been playing that a bunch today just to try and grind it a little bit for a future community event. I feel like I don't know what the best way is to try and get people involved in like community event stuff for the caster Discord. Because like I thought of a really cool like improv thing we could do, and I came up with like a bunch of different rules and stuff, and I had like one person sign up.
Oof.
Yeah. So it's like,
And that is one of the reasons why, like, where my mentality is on the casting workshop.
yeah.
It's you have to be willing to come and throw yourself out there for something like this. For me personally, I can do it till I'm blue in the face. I can sit here on specific days and talk to people who decide to come, etc. You know,
Mhm.
and that's where adding little things here and there, like the flow color commentary, still to this day was one of the higher attendances that we ended up having through this first season, just due in part to people being like, wow, okay, now this could be something that's interesting. And then of course you throw in the fact that the subject of color commentary is something that's very rarely gotten into. It's
and
very
that too, yeah.
like almost everybody and their brother is relying upon play-by-play to carry them through. It was a very, it was the right time for it. You throw in, you throw in Daz getting involved as well, even if it was only for like 15 minutes.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, Daz showed up out of nowhere and he added an opinion or two with what we were watching. And it brought some real professional perspective that I think everybody who was in the room appreciated. But the more people who get involved in the casting workshop, the better it ends up being. Just because it truly is we can all help each other by sharing perspectives, by iron sharpening iron mentality on each other. But
Oh yeah. I mean, just collaborating in general helps elevate everyone.
Mhm.
I just need to find some people to collaborate with content on because I have all the means to edit stuff and have the time to write stuff. It's just the ideas themselves are just not coming to me right now.
interesting.
It sucks. Because I have like all this free time because this is all I do now is cast. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I have like the equipment, the editing, like basic editing skills, nothing fancy with like motion graphics or any of that crazy stuff.
Oh, I'm
but,
terrible at editing.
yeah. But it's like, okay, if I can at least get a good idea written down, make a script out of it. Like the video I did for, what was it? It was like the World Championship like recap sort of thing. Well, not recap. That would be a good idea, but it's a little bit late for that. I feel like just like the primer video that I made. I had like 2K views on that, hit the algorithm somehow, and it was really like took me a couple days to put that all together because I got graphics, I got footage from events, and showed all the teams and like the names of players and all that kind of stuff. And that was fun to work on. It's like, how do I come up with another idea for a video like that? Because those are the ones I want to work on. I don't want to be like a news reporter on YouTube like Lawler kind of is for the majority of his videos. Of course, he also does like his own analysis of stuff too. But I feel like a majority of that stuff, and then like all the other people that are doing Rocket League esports content is like, hey, here's the roster moves. Here's like some Twitter beef that happened. News. And I don't want to do that because everyone else is doing that.
Well, yeah, rehashing what is already there, that doesn't really add to the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's something that I hope that we can create a content through eFuse, and it would create more opportunities for the talent pool that we have as is to, work on eFuse sponsored / structured content.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
For the entirety of college carball / like you could take it a step further, but I'd like to see it start with the Rocket League side, because we have so many people who, if we utilize them, they can create that sort of content. I mean, imagine a weekly show that goes over the happenings of CCA, so CRL, CRLB stream. You can throw in Immortals progressive stuff, etc. Being able to do something like that weekly, and then say, for instance, somebody doesn't have the schedule. Well, I mean, yeah, normally we'd have Hunted here, but we can plug in Taco and somebody else, or
yeah,
being able to
that's the
plug
thing,
and
too.
play everybody content-wise in order to keep the content candle burning.
That's the toughest part, is like making sure that you have people that are able to collaborate on that. Because before First Touch was even out there, was doing boost pickup with UGC, and I was doing that with Hunted for a little bit, but it was literally just me gathering everything, editing it down, making a script, and then just sending the assets over to Tone, who would then like put all that stuff together. And it's like, oh, this is too much for one person to do.
Yeah.
And seeing that they have like an entire team that does stuff, gets content, comes up with ideas for First Touch, I mean, it makes sense because you can't do that by yourself.
Yeah. And it's one of the things that I really appreciate about what eFuse is bringing to the table right now for our B stream, because statistics team did us wonders this last season. Like, granted, there are certain people who still don't read it. No names, please.
Man.
But
I mean, if you're given all that information as a talent, you need to use it. I don't use it because it's not my job to say the stats. My job is to set the other people up to say this stuff.
Yeah.
But like seeing all that is like, oh, I wish I had this when I was casting.
Oh, mercy. The fact is, we are a light version of what they have at the very top right now.
Yeah.
And that is, like, this is literally the land of opportunity. It doesn't get any better than that.
True.
Let's see here. I haven't actually stepped in your Discord in a hot minute.
It's all good. I was going to make a post like asking for suggestions on ways to improve it too, because getting to a year since it was made, it's pretty cool. I think I made it in like November, December of last year.
It really is like the perfect combination of what I'm doing here with this, and then what you're doing. It brings everybody together and does create avenues for us to all learn. So
I'm gonna make a post right now, actually, because it's not too late. Ugh.
Hello. Ooh.
oh gosh, one of my favorite moments from this last weekend was I played along really hard on it.
Oh yeah.
During one of the intros, Seb just kept on singing along to the intro music after we got in. Not sure
That's
if I
great.
see. I can actually. I did long form clipping for it, but you can skip towards the end, and I feel like I killed this, but this was completely impromptu. That's the best part. Seb is like a chaotic neutral.
Oh yeah. Let me check it out real quick. Do-do-do.
So impromptu. It's so good. Oh wait, it really though? It's not picking up. It's so stinking good. Why is that my normal input? That is not my normal input. What? Oh.
What's up?
I'm angry.
That sounded great.
Like I felt pretty good about it in the end.
No, you like nailed. Like I thought you were just playing the song for that part. Bang on.
Like chicks are good. I did.
Whoa, we're live. Sorry.
Gotta give credit to Jigsaw for barely being able to keep it together.
That song. It's a banger of a
Oh,
song.
man.
Just
It was great.
Somebody called me Giga Ken in all of that, or Gig Ken. Man, it was definitely one of my favorite moments from the week. Hence the clip. It's going in the interesting reel. Is it bad I have a reel for memes?
No, I think that works. I mean,
That-
it's a way to separate yourself from other talent, you know?
Yeah, just straight into the garbage bin. I love it. Anyway. Okay, let's see here. Testing 1 2. Hey. Hi everybody. Kendo's Lice here today. Am I really? I feel like it's more dynamic than I'm leading on. Testing 1 2, 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 testing 1 2. Oh boy. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Now
That-
that's radio-y.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, there's no way that doesn't sound a little bit different. Okay, so I am at least hearing something.
Mm-hmm.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
There we go.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Oh boy, that does sound different. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. I'm still not sure if I like the way that this sounds, but it does sound very different.
Ah, yes. Ha ha ha.
Nice.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Okay. Very subtle difference. I like the way that it brings out the top end,
Mm-hmm.
but it also does sound a little more roboty. Huh. Just do NBA jam calls. Grabs the rebound. No good.
Blammo.
Boom shakalaka. Get posterized. Wait, that was a custom one. Okay, let's see here. So testing 1 2. Testing. Oh, the bottom end. Oh, hey girl.
Ooh,
Hey,
want
girl,
to take
you
a
know what
look
I'm
at my
talking
hosting
about
reel,
right now.
Kendo, and see what I
Yeah.
should replace clip-wise?
Yeah, we can definitely take a look at that. Oh boy. Okay, I'm
Sweet.
not sure I want my low end that high.
Sounds fancy.
Sounds fancy, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I hate when you try to like message someone on Discord without going to the actual messages and paste a link, and it just pastes in whatever channel you're in.
So this is my voice at attention, and I don't really like it. Okay.
I guess
Bring
I could
that
just
down.
stream the screen as we go through it. It's probably a better.
Well, bring that down. Bring that down. Bring that down. Bring that down. Bring that up. Bring that up. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing. Testing. 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Oh my.
Let me know when you're good to look at it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I think I'm going to replace this intro because I have some other intro ones I can do. But we shall see. Can you hear that?
I cannot at the moment.
Let me try playing it. You can't hear that?
No, I can't.
What do I got to do to fix that? Stream quality? No. Change windows. Maybe I do screen instead. Sound may not be available.
Ooh. I've been dreaming.
Let me see.
I mean, I can just do it off the top.
Yeah, that works. You just press play at the same time.
22. This is the Western Sierra.
Let me know when you're ready.
Throw it up on the stream. Ooh. Gonna hiccup. There we go.
Sierra Spring 20.
Okay. Whenever you ready.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click.
Sierra Spring 2022. This is the Western Conference playoffs here, and it's going to be a great time deciding who are the other 3 teams making it into the Spring Championship and the World Championship, joining St. Clair, joining Northwood, and trying to make sure that they can go through the gauntlet that is the bracket tonight.
State your name and everything else, and then.
Yeah, Nick Ambrosic, or Vaudible, and host of the
man,
B Stream.
okay. Yeah,
But,
okay.
T-Bates, I know
Talk
the
to me.
hashtag. Hashtag T-Bates never wrong. But my question for you is, why LSU be choking?
Oh.
Sorry.
He really did you like that. That's tough. Wow.
Listen.
Welcome everyone to the North American Rivals Series
Babarin.
Week 3. I am your host for this weekend's festivities, Vaudeville, and joining me in the booth for today's broadcast, we have a Dazzler and a Samael. How are you guys enjoying all the Rocket League we've been experiencing so far?
Any team could take this one home, and we honestly don't know who it's going to be.
But we do have to talk about two teams in particular. The first ones we'll be seeing on stream, which will be Triple Commit.
Man, I
and
need to lose some
Upper Deck
weight. I wish I
Esports.
looked like
If you
that
guys
still.
Want to send us your predictions, join in with the conversation on Twitter.
Yeah, y'all need to lose weight before I lose it. I'm just saying.
On screen during the
I get
break
down
room,
under
so a lot of
200
you have
pounds.
tons to
Game
talk
over.
about.
I'm on screen.
Yeah, well, speaking of turning things around, after getting that game win to tie the series in overtime, going into game 3, all bets were off to see who would come out on top. How did you guys make sure you pulled through and got the confident victory there? 3-0 with the goals, even though the series didn't go that way. I mean, final thoughts. This is the wrap for the Faded Rivals Clash, the final event of the season itself, the 2v2 Invitational. $13,500 here. And it's crazy to think Alex and Razox, they took first place in this and first and second, respectfully, in that 1v1 event that happened on Thursday.
You can also get some Papa John's slices available for pickup in the shops. Just drop by and pick us up a slice and head out the door. And if you're hungry, use promo code MEDIUM6 for a medium 1 topping pizza. And I've been Vaudeville. We've had Sammy Byrne here in the chat as well. It's been great to cast with you, man.
Okay,
And
I already
this has
know which
been
ones
the
I want
Papa
to place.
John's Rocket League Showdown. Hope you all enjoyed.
Yeah,
some
you
good
don't need
pizza,
me.
some good Rocket
Oh,
League
man.
and matches in the future, and we'll see you next time.
I like, so I know for some of these I was like, oh, put them in there for having the actual event so that I can show like, hey, I've done like the Rival Series B stream, you know, but that's also
is
from 2019. I think I should
Sports?
still keep the studio one because that looks good.
Yeah.
To
Oh,
have
I
studio
agree.
Work on it. So keep studio, keep the T-Bates question because that's just funny.
St. Clair, Ambrozic, or
Even though it's not like I wasn't paid to do that, it was just kind of a fun bit.
I actually think
State your name and everything else, and then.
yeah, Nick
And getting
Ambrozic.
rid of it?
no, I
I'd be
actually
down.
think you could lead with that
Lead with it. You know what? That's not a bad idea.
because
Lead with T-Bates.
it's literally one biggest moment, arguably, because first touch live from the Winter Major and you're on the screen. Like you're doing what you do outside of what you do.
True, true.
Like that's brilliant right there. Plus it starts things off with a little bit of highbrow humor. If you know, you know.
Yeah, and it would be a good way to kind of get people's attention as well. Now I'm
But
thinking about it.
you get the full-on introduction of yourself as well, because T-Bates literally gives you the spotlight.
The bracket tonight.
State your name and everything else.
That's true. Okay, that's a good idea. So
Ambrozic
lead
or
with the
Vaudeville,
T-Bates
and, host of the
question.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting rid of the Rival Series clip 'cause that's so far behind. Don't really need that anymore. I'm not going to use that intro clip because it's not as good as some of the other ones I have now. But I'm still going to put a intro clip in it there. I think
Joining me
either
in the
from this
booth
past
for
weekend
today's
or the
broadcast, we
AAA
have a
Challenger
Dazzler
Series.
and
Because let me show
Samael.
you
How are
this
you
other
guys
clip that I
enjoying this
have
Home, and we honestly
from the championship.
Yeah, you
for
definitely
that.
want the Renegade Cup one in there, especially with
don't know who it's going to be.
like
Oh, yeah.
all
Do
three
want
of
to
you.
talk
That
about
is
been experiencing so far.
that is peak body
Do have
tone.
to talk about
Yep.
two teams
Like
in
the
particular.
makeup that they did on that. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It was
amazing.
also before COVID, so we all looked a lot better.
Well, yeah, it's amazing though how a studio environment, just the slightest amount of makeup. I don't put any on personally, but I guarantee if you put some lipstick on this pig, oh boy, I could, lady killer. I don't know. Tell my wife to watch out.
Okay, here is the clip. Where is it? There's your.
Yeah, that's
message.
probably the.
Game win to tie the
So here's
series
that
in
other intro
overtime.
clip. This is from the
Going into
AAA
game
Challenger
3,
Series.
Let's see. It's long.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to use it all. I think I'll only cut it off after saying set the stage and then go into the next clip from that. I also have some other ones I might use from AAA because I know I want to use a AAA Challenger Series clip and then some clip from the championships here. I'll probably use one of the interviews, figure out what the best part from that would be because I know the interview that I have in my current reel, not the greatest
victory there. 3-0 with the goals,
content or quality, so
I mean,
get rid of that.
This is the wrap for the Faded
I wanted to keep the Faded Rivals Clash in there at one point because I'm like, oh yeah, this is from another esport, but people didn't really know that because it's only from Sideswipe.
And first and second,
That's the only clip I could find because all the VODs got deleted.
Available for pickup in the shops. Just drop by and pick us up a slice and head out the door.
But yeah, so basically lead with the T-Baits, have the Renegade Cup. Those are two like really strong parts.
Yeah, I do think, I think leading with the T-Baits would actually be really good for an intro.
Oh yeah.
I know for my own
listen to that
personal reel, because I've been thinking about ways I can update it, and it'd almost likely be a final update. There was a lot of stuff from the CRL Worlds that I could go and clip, because there were multiple shout-outs.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
But I know on my reels, I'd like to start it out. I've actually had a tendency to almost always start out my reels with a stupid level bang. I almost want to start my next one out with a collage. 4 or 5 people be like, shout out Kendo Slice, you know, throw F dot in there doing that during CRL Worlds. Just a few little clips back and forth. Kendo Slice, you know, other people saying the name, and then rolling into my own personal introduction. I'm Kendo Slice, and this is my casting reel. Something silly like that.
True.
You almost get like the THX styles zoom in. Kind of like the THX, the feel of a THX, but also like the Marvel opening, panning through the comics sort of thing.
Hell yeah.
And
we see some of these other AAA clips.
I always have the mental for some of these things, but I never have the ability to edit it all together. But yeah, I do agree. The T-Baits one must keep. The Renegade Cup.
Week 3.
Like, y'all look snazzy on that Renegade Club.
Oh yeah, that was so fun.
I mean,
would you believe that was my first time ever hosting?
What?
Yes, that event was my first time I've ever hosted.
Speaking of turning things
I was so nervous, man.
If you guys want to send us your predictions, join in with the conversation on Twitter, which is hashtag.
Look at the smile. You cannot tell me that is your first time.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll speak.
Like, that is glorious. Made for the moment. There you go.
Sorry, I was just talking to my girlfriend for a second.
No, you're fine. Oh, mercy. Yeah, I'm glad I got to go to Worlds for the entirety of it.
Yeah, that was.
But
that hurt my bank.
I do still regret not going to LA.
Oh yeah.
But not going to LA meant I was able to. Wait, what?
What's up?
Me not going to LA is what secured me having the budget to do the big swing at Worlds.
Fair.
Kind of sucked in that respect.
I've realized that for me personally, I think I don't need to go to specific events anymore, except until I can get to a point where I am invited to those networking things. Because
yeah,
the Lathimir party was fun, but I didn't really get to make like connections really there because everyone was just there to just have fun and just get fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
But like being VIP, obviously that led to a lot more for I feel like Chixa and Taco than anything else.
Oh heavens,
that
yes.
happened this year. So
yeah, the VIP stuff. I'm not gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it. Not during the recording. I will not talk about it. Oh, but the story there. The fact the VIP that Chixa got, that story.
Oh yeah. No, that was crazy like how that happened too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like that is something I greatly appreciate. Eventually, once KCP has themselves established, I should be able to get into a lot of that sort of stuff on the KCP side. Just due in part to the work that I've done with them and then staying on with them even through all the interesting things that have gone on.
How has all the local stuff been for you?
I mean, all the local stuff is brilliant. Like, that is... If you combined KCP, the Level Up Arena, Unified, all of that combined, it makes out for about 25% of my portfolio, which is really cool. The heavy lifter, of course, is Unified, because they are desperately trying to grow themselves. And they're also the ones making the largest strides. Like, imagine being the sole proprietor / production for Proving Grounds for League of Legends.
Crazy.
Like, that's stupefying. So they have a lot of really good stuff that they're working on over there. Despite some of the bad rapport on the online side and payouts that apparently they're still behind on. The stuff that they do with the live event crew, which is the one that I'm directly involved with, almost all the time, like, they're paying out at the venue. So it does make me interested to know how things are done so vastly differently, the online remote stuff versus the live event crews.
True.
Like, where is the disparity there? And to my knowledge, I don't know that I can publicly comment, but there are a lot of people that are no longer a part of the company based upon some of the things that have gone down.
I mean, it makes sense. I just hope I get paid by UGC tomorrow, because supposedly they're paying schools then. Because that would help me out so much. Yeah, because I'm owed like $2,800 by them, so I need that money.
I'm not sure this is the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, that definitely sucks.
But
I'm owed a little bit.
It is what
but
happens
definitely not
with
that much.
with like casting and stuff. Sometimes you just gotta like take that risk and take a gig that you're not 100% sure you'll get paid on. But it's always important, I feel like, as a caster, if possible, to have some sort of backup funds. Say, like what I learned when I first tried to, when earlier this year I tried to go full time with casting, is like have enough savings for at least 6 months or even a year if you can, to just pay rent and the basics of what you need to eat. If you can't get any casting gigs, then you'll hopefully be able to make enough through casting at the point you are that you're feeling comfortable to make that jump to do it. And worked out for me for now, but the problem was like my girlfriend's been out of work for half a year now, so I've had to like pick up a lot of bills. But luckily, because I had those savings, I've been able to hang on and still do this full time. So if I did this without having any savings and just like, oh, I'm gonna go full time casting, or quote unquote full time, but have casting as my only job for the year, I would not have been able to do that at all.
It truly is like having the ability to budget yourself to where you do have that nest egg in case it all goes wrong. Like, that is the aspiration. Actually, this is a perfect discussion. So if for some reason somebody in the video actually goes back, listens through the VOD, and they catch this specific conversation, I think is a really good one.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's the biggest thing I learned from people who are like, oh, another way you can take it too is say you're a streamer who's making like a decent amount of money per month, like say $500 or something like that.
Yeah.
I know I'm not, but there's people out there that are like affiliates and all that. If you're saying that you can increase your income enough by supplementing those days you stream, and you're able to save enough to get to that point for doing that for a year.
Yeah.
Like, that is what I've seen most people who have been the most successful and able to transition to full time for streaming, which is similar for casting, but obviously, different metrics, and got to make sure you're in the right spot and still have something to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing too for that is like a lot of people trying to decide, oh, I should quit college or something to do like streaming or casting. All depends on where you're at with that stuff. Because I know there's some people who like are maybe a semester, maybe a year off of finishing their degree, and then they're like, oh, but I'm doing so with this stuff and I'd be able to do so much more with it. I feel like at that point, if you're that close to finishing a degree, it is always beneficial to finish that out and have just a little bit less progress with streaming or casting, because that'll be a good thing to fall back on, because a degree is so necessary with majority of jobs that are out there. Because for me, I don't have that backup plan because I don't have a degree. So it's like, it's this or go do a job like fast food or something. I'd probably go to like a Best Buy, honestly, because I know tech stuff. But
yeah,
even then, that would not be like what you would want to do, because if I had a college degree, I could probably do a lot of different stuff instead as a backup plan.
That's where
I need to do that.
That's where I am currently with the plan that I have for trying to create a position, whether it be within eFuse or Psionics, whatever, just as talent management. The idea of putting myself in a spot where, this is the amount of time that I need to achieve this in. Otherwise, it is not going to happen. It's a bad draw at that point if it doesn't happen by the end of December next year. But the goal has been for me to work on getting an education somewhere where I can work on trying to find, okay, wow, that is such a difference on the top end. Okay.
Still messing with your
like I'm still playing a little bit with my equalizer. I apologize.
It's all good.
But the idea of, a lot of the stuff requires a degree. I don't mind that. So I'm looking at the idea of going back to college. That way I can work in one of those college job environments. Like there's a physics, or Sergio, guy who was the esports director at Ottawa. Like, dude did a number for my psych as far as like positivity and a few other things. And of course there's Prof as well with KCP. But the idea of like right now, my goal is I want to grow esports. I want to be a mentor to as many people as I possibly can. And that lines up so well with the esports directing. It lines up so well with trying to push others forward above myself, So that is the background plan, trying to finish off. Like, I know I have about 2 years worth of credits at a different college that I dropped out of, yada yada, that we can figure out what works and what doesn't work going in and transferring some of those credits. But
Yeah.
the idea of being able to come out of, if nothing goes down a year and a half from now, and be able to finish off a degree and then apply myself towards a full-time esports director or something of that nature. Maybe it's just a esports coach, a mental coach, whatever. Something that continues to push the needle and move people in a direction where esports is growing. So, granted, I also have DoorDash that I can always fall back on. That's a gig, a job, whatever.
True.
I could literally walk into pretty much any automotive, basic automotive center and be like, hey, I have the tools and the knowledge. Sign me up. Oil changey boy. Whatever you need me to do. Yeah. Knowing that I could go into just about any metal shop too does help, because I've done just about everything on that end other than weld. Which, I mean, welding ain't too hard. I guess they just don't trust me with fire.
Yeah, I know someone who is a welder for movie sets, which is pretty cool.
Ooh, that would be so cool.
Yeah, it's like a very niche job, but they pay like pretty well for it too.
Welders make tons of cash, actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually very impressive to see just how much that they're able to make. One of the companies that I worked for, they would do like high-rise journeyman welding. So it wasn't always the actual high-rise buildings, but they would be doing suspension work. And by that I mean they would go up to these high, 20 stories up, maybe a silo, and be working on rewelding a silo. Inside, outside, whatever it takes, grain, etc. So welders come in all shapes and sizes. There are people who do underwater welding, which is, oh my gosh, that is so stupid. Just imagine you got your entire, you have an entire deep dive kit and you're welding underwater. Forget breathing underwater, welding underwater. There you go. There's imagine creating Aquadome.
Crazy. I couldn't even imagine that.
Yeah, it is wild to me just how much welding is involved, and it'll probably always be involved. Like, where there is an industrial world, there will be welding. It will never die. Anyway. But yeah, having a game plan and then being very smart with the way that you both take in and save up money. Because I think about the journey to get where I am today. It's not like I went out of my way to broadcast on a $200 headset. I didn't come up with $4,000 worth of equipment.
Yeah.
Overnight. It was 4 or 5 year process where a lot of the gigs and a lot of the people's generosity ended up paying for everything that I have today.
I'd say my biggest regret for casting is focusing too much on LAN events when I was first starting. Because I spent like way too much money going to them and like trying to focus on that instead of grinding out like getting better at casting.
Yeah.
Because obviously, it helps with a certain skill set, which is just to feel comfortable in that kind of live environment. But since COVID, like that's 3 years of nothing. I still haven't done a LAN event since after COVID. So it's like, it helped a little bit. And it helped me with like that Renegade Cup gig. And then the like DreamHack, like the stuff I did in 2019 was great.
Yeah.
But because of COVID, it's like, oh, if I focused more on casting, then maybe I would have been around the same spot or level as like Daz and some of those guys that are currently, that went from the rival series to RLCS, B Stream, to like the actual main talent for that stuff. But also I would say the main thing for Daz, because like we started casting. He started like I'd say a couple months before I did, maybe like half a year. But the main thing for him compared to what I was doing was that he was putting these events on and making connections that way and getting to know the players and was already friends with all the casters. So it's like he had a presence in the community more so than anyone else who was at the same level or around the same spot. So I feel like that helped propel him even more so than like a lot of the other talent that were around that same spot. And you can see that evident that he was casting at Worlds, for his first time.
I'm not going to say that part of that is the cliche of, the Bezos. But it does help when you do know financially you're secure and you're able to go through all of that and put on those types of events. And
I mean, like if someone has the ability to do that and they aren't doing that, and they are missing out on a huge opportunity for themselves, not just like casting wise, but also creating content wise.
Oh,
because
100%.
Seeing like what Fear is doing, putting on all these like 1v1 show matches, funding that just from like his community and originally just from himself to get to the point that he is, and then eventually being on the desk for 1v1 stuff that was happening at Worlds. Like that is the way to get there now. There isn't a way to get there currently just by grinding out casting, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, no, I think if there is one that requires grinding out casting, I mean, Bass is probably the closest thing to it. But that was a year and a half worth of investing time where it was unpaid.
Timing is a huge thing for that too, because he was there at the right time in the right community for OCE, grinding all these gigs for nothing, and then got some OCE casting gigs because there wasn't OCE casters even grinding it. Because they gave up because there wasn't any like support for that kind of stuff. But if they didn't, and if they were in that spot, they would potentially be there instead of Bass. But no, because Bass also put in work like all over the scene, So
no, and I completely
it's just
agree with
crazy
that.
to see how that's working for like different people for different opportunities, and the way that they've been able to grow to where they are currently and continue that way. Because like even talk about Sleeky specifically, where his first LAN was the one that we did together, DreamHack Boost Cup in 2019 at DreamHack Atlanta.
Yep.
And he was not paid for that. So he was there as like a volunteer talent. Yeah.
Let's not talk about all the things that Brett has not been paid for.
Yeah. I mean,
ESPN.
Oh God.
Lord have mercy.
But to be fair though, those opportunities eventually propelled him to be where he is now, currently working as a broadcast like director producer for Wisdom.
Legend is more like it.
And still doing casting stuff and having this like big presence in the community too, because like the ESPN thing I would say is what propelled him the most. But to get to that opportunity, he grinded like crazy. He was like taking the reins on MLE, and a lot of people that were big casters or are big casters like started with MLE, and he was able to work those connections too and kind of find himself in the right
I still
eyes,
can't believe that MLE is where it is today.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
I started out. I entered MLE season 3 at the very end of the season, and I got the green light to play season 4. And that was where I actually met Mateo, a couple other people there, but started commentating just as a hobbyist in that season 4, season 5, some of the little side projects that were going on.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it. And then it's amazing to think that in season 6, Jay takes a chance on me to put me on, just being the first ever community bred commentator, really in any community. Because at that point, RSC didn't exist. IGL didn't exist. Like, there were all of these small organizations now that are outlets for people who have never done it before to get their first shot in. All of that didn't exist, and it was Jay giving me a shot that ended up being essentially the start of what we have today in one of the most overpopulated commentary worlds in all of esports.
It's crazy how much it's grown. Like,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
nuts. I mean, I was so surprised when we got to 100 members on my Discord for just Rocket League casters. I'm like, there was not this many when I last looked.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I've been saying it for 2 years or so. There's at least 200 casters. If you put all of the hobbyists, you put all the people who are just trying.
Yeah.
And whether it be RSC, the Frontier Doubles League, District 13, United Rogue, minor league esports, I could go down the line. One of the communities that I'm going to be investing a little bit more in soon is the Old Farts. And they're doing a lot of small level community stuff. And like, they've taken the heart of what MLE was in the early on, and they've turned it into a casual environment that is poised for growth. Like, some of the ideas that the people at the top have for that community and wanting to grow the community, not trying to create a league, not trying to do all this, that, and the other. They're actually, from the top down, trying to build the community rather than create methods for them to grow their own incomes or, build certain things like that. And I love the heart that they have over there. But even then, two years ago, there was at least 200 people, whether it be counting hobbyists, people who had aspirations. Then the COVID boom happened. There's at least 500 now.
Oh yeah,
I feel
it's
like 500 to
COVID,
1,000.
Accelerated so many people into wanting to get into casting, which is just nuts. The way that accelerated so many different people throughout the scene and like just getting into it in general. Like, I would say over half of the people in the Green Room Discord are from like COVID casters.
Yeah. And I still, it blows my mind to think that, well, one, that Jay didn't really get a shot until the most recent summer series. And I'm happy that we were able to do that, and we were able to convince him to come on and do something. But also,
big shout out to Jay. Like, he's always been super consistent with what he's been doing as far as like his ability as a caster.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. Like,
that also goes back to that thing where it's like, what is necessary to get into the big leagues as a caster? It's not just talent. If it was, Jay would be there. You know?
Yeah, Jay would have been there 5 years ago.
Exactly.
I mean, just imagine all of the diversity push as well. If that would have happened 5 years ago, Jay would have literally escalated to, the highest levels right off the bat. And I that's speaking very candidly. We probably won't get into that too much just because this is not the time and or the place to bring back the happenings of last summer series. But
I mean, that is just like the way that I would say communities in general online evolve.
Yeah,
where they start out, grassroots, and then they get to a certain, I would say, notoriety where if they want to get to the next level, it is not only necessary to actively seek out more diverse talent pools, but also make sure that everyone is getting an opportunity. And if they aren't like having that representation, finding people and raising them up to get to that point too, so that these people who want to get into, say, casting, that is not just a generic white guy, sees someone that they can relate to and be like, oh, I didn't know I could do this, until they see that person,
Yeah.
So that's what it's like all about. I mean, that's part of the reason why I made my Discord, right? Is because I was like, oh, there aren't people that are representing women or anyone else in those kind of communities that can help teach these people what they need to evolve as talent in Rocket League specifically. So I was like, let's make this Discord. Anyone's welcome to it, of course, but the main thing will be like, okay, this way I can figure out who there is, what they need, how we can recommend them for different gigs, and see like ways to elevate everyone else that is out there too. And I feel like it's worked pretty effectively, but there's always more that you can do for that kind of stuff as well. And it's nice to see now that there's so many more women in the Rocket League community that are getting opportunities for this kind of stuff too. I mean, Hercules has blown up when it comes to the freestyling stuff that she was doing at Worlds and for some of the other events, and seeing the way that other people that might not have thought that casting or doing hosting or anything could have been a possibility, that now it is actually a possibility for them.
Yeah.
I mean, Chixa specifically, I would say, is like the biggest homegrown Rocket League caster that is also a woman that's out there, and that's huge, right? Just see that she's been able to get those opportunities and how she's continuing to improve, and that it is possible for someone who isn't just the generic audience that is out there to become a top talent in Rocket League.
Yeah. I appreciate Cassandra a lot. Like, it is so amazing to see the growth there. I don't like talking about it too much, but it truly is amazing to think about how 5 years ago, I don't want to say it all started with Jay taking a chance on me, but holy crap, the amount of structure that went in. And then you look at 2.5, 3 seasons later, like, I had taken everything that I learned, and after a few disagreements with people at the top of MLE, I was like, you know what? United Rogue's actually listening to the things I gotta say. So let's head over there. Let's spend a little more time, and we'll keep on establishing that leadership, because they actually want to invest the time in the time that I want to invest. So you look at the structure that was over there, and the fact now, like, the way that Videon was formed, and it was almost a beautiful picture. It was an enhancement of what I had aspired for at United Rogue. Gosh, it's so amazing. Like, that is just it blows my mind. It makes me love the Rocket League community all the more, because they took my pipe dreams, or the pipe dreams of an Animate J. You took the small structure of somebody who wanted to grow something. And now I look at this community, and it's just like everybody is able to help everybody.
It's also crazy too, because like the way I first started, I think it was May 23rd or 24th. I don't remember the exact day, but I have it somewhere. I got like my computer all set up. I got like a new one, and finally like got decent internet. Streamed myself casting bots.
Oh, that's awesome.
That same day, I was reached out to by Nexus Gaming, which had Carrie Taz and Jorby, Stacks. Dow's was in there a couple of times too. Stumtavian Roboclick, who people might know is like an admin who's still around in the scene and all that. And like Jorby said, hey, you guys should check this dude out. And then they reached out to me the same day. And if it wasn't for Jorby doing that, I would not be like doing this as a job right now, which is just crazy to think about.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. I just ended up being on the opposite end of the spectrum from all of that. Although I had connections with Carrie. Like, I used to do so many Mock-It tournaments back when Carrie was a part of that. So I knew Carrie from Mock-It, and I also knew Carrie made a very correct decision by getting as far away from that company as he possibly could.
Good old Mock-It.
So, like, my awareness of what was going on with Nexus was mainly due in part to Carrie at that point in time. And I don't remember what prevented me from getting involved. But to be honest, I probably prevented myself more than anything else from getting involved with Nexus, PRL, or Rival. And like, I've always had the stuff, but I had never applied myself, and I was always a Debbie Downer on myself. Oh my gosh, I hate myself.
I mean, I feel like that is the biggest detriment to a lot of people
Yeah.
when it comes to progress as a caster or even in anything is like self-doubt. Because
Yeah.
if you let yourself talk yourself down from what you believe you can do, and especially imposter syndrome, like that is the biggest kicker. But eventually you'll get to a point where you just don't care anymore and you're just having fun, and that's all that really matters when it comes to that point.
Literally is a moment of that negativity can ruin a person's impression of you forever.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And I hate that. But it truly is one of the greatest voids that I have working against me, because like I can do everything right. I know where I am right now, and I'm very happy with the positivity that I have now, with the person that I am now compared to what I was before. But people are still going to remember that guy who, even 3 years ago, yeah, Ken, that was an amazing cast. You sounded awesome. And my response would generally be, yeah, I guess. I could have done this better. I could have done that better. I could have done that. Like, there's nothing wrong with me being able to see, oh, here are some things that I desperately know that I need to improve upon in order for me to be at my very best level. But if can't even take a compliment, nobody wants to be around that, and I don't blame them for not wanting to be around that. So,
yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of it comes down to how well you can work together with people, and typically when it comes to that, they just don't want to be around that because it bums out the search party, is a term that some of my friends when we play D&D were talking about. It's like if you have a character that's just like down in the dumps the entire time when you're trying to go rescue someone, you don't want them to be there while you're trying to do like something really important, because it's just bringing the entire vibe down,
And that is where like I'm thankful for people like Gary Vaynerchuk, who have created this entire media system of positivity.
True.
It's like I did not completely know about Gary V and the movement he's been trying to create until about 3 years ago, listening to the Jim Rome show, which has always been one of my vices growing up. Like even before I got into Rocket League. And I'm thankful for being able to see the game as it was getting ready to release on Steam, and I'm like, oh wow, this is the perfect combination of everything that I've ever enjoyed in life. But even before that, I was getting to know. I was listening to Jim Rome while I was working at metal shops for the longest time, and listening to sports radio and to people talking about and trying to enhance, and really that I feel like that's one of the next steps that we need in the Rocket League community specifically. I'd love to hear more commentaries outside of actual game commentary, like add to the conversation. It kind of, we're actually full circle with our discussion here by talking about it that way. But I truly think that if you add that extra little bit of commentary on the commentary, a little bit of interview here and there, oh boy, does it create the content that we are starved for.
A lot of work to do.
Oh yes, there's a lot of work to do, but all the more reason, like if Rocket League as it is currently, it was one of the reasons why I was so excited about the RLTV idea. Like the little satellite RLTV portion of the announcement that everybody's like, oh, what's this? What's going on here? Could it be a Rocket League and television network or something silly like that? But
if only.
Well, you think of it this way. You have the amount of commentators that we have in this community. If each and every one of us truly purposed within ourselves and gave the very best of what we do to that sort of a cause, we could have a 24-hour-a-day television network that was dedicated to just Rocket League. Oh, I guarantee it. Oh, do I ever guarantee it? Not everybody is that devoted, and you got to remember, like, the disadvantage of esports is it literally is a bunch of kids playing games, or sometimes larger than normal kids. 35-year-old one here. But we don't always have that purpose, that structure, and it's one of the reasons why I'm driving for what I'm driving for in our personal community. Because you add the structure, you create a more professional environment, everybody having a game plan, a set of goals going into a casting season, like something that you can write down is tangible. You can look at a Post-it note, be like, hey, this is what I know that I'm working on next. This is something that I actively feel like I need to do something about. And yeah, like those little structures, we make those steps towards structuring what we have already, and then we implement those structures. Oh yeah, we could 100% create something that was constant Rocket League content coming out each and every day. It could even be everyone interviewing everyone else. We could. Here's a fun one for you. That I may or may not be on some sort of undescript energy beverage. Thinking about this one a little too much. This one is a dream from the goalpost. But imagine a series getting into the mind of a Twitch chatter.
Oh, man. That'd just be funny.
Behind the mind of a Twitch chatter. You could have one brave soul to go through and be like, hey, I see you said this on this day in the Rocket League chat. Let's talk about it. One, you'd need one heck of an editor to pull that off. But imagine you get these... I guess the best way to refer to it is you have more often than not like the social pushes. The guy sitting at a table is like, this, convince me otherwise. You get somebody with that sort of attitude to go in and present that sort of thing, like Rocket League from the mind of a Twitch chatter.
Well, yeah, it's basically like, what is that guy's name?
I forget his name off the top of my head, but the content is still there.
Oh, David Attenborough. That's it. It's like that kind of documentary style of like observing the wild Twitch chatter.
But yeah, no, it is a fantastic thing that we can have, and we have the sheer, as far as sheer amount of people, it's definitely there, and that's why I feel like it needs to be one of the next moves, like for specifically what we do with CCA, and you have, I mean, we have an overabundance of people who at the CCA level can put out work that is comparable, as good as, and we aspire to be better than what we see at the top level. A year ago, I was pretty I was pretty forward about. Some of us, sometimes it feels like what we're doing at CCA is better than what they're doing at the very top. You know what? This most recent RLCS, yeah, they blew us out of the water. I don't know. I don't know if somebody caught wind of the thing I said, and then like, it's like, let's show this guy. This guy's an idiot.
To be fair, though, that's when you have the funding and means to do all that stuff, and an entire content team and all that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of that is not just because of the talent. It's because of
Direct
the people
coming
that are
in changed a lot in that dichotomy. It's like, it's amazing to see just how much the statistics and then the organization of those statistics that Direct brought in. Like, this is something that I have a very small amount of window into, as far as, and it's inspired me, and I'm hoping that it's a window that I never have removed from me. But it's being in the RLCS remote Discord and seeing what everyone does, what everyone brings to the table. Direct far and away brings the most organization of statistics and different things to the table.
Yeah.
But everybody has these little bits and pieces. Direct puts it all together and essentially makes that show happen a lot of the time.
Well, it makes it so much
It's
easier
incredible.
for them, right? Because
Oh,
they don't have
yes.
to like go back and try and research on the fly, look through Wikipedia. They could just
Heck,
ask
they
a
could
question.
ask Direct to do it on the fly.
Yeah.
Legitimately get a statistically correct answer within 15 minutes. Like,
Crazy.
you could ask in the middle of a... That blows my mind, to be perfectly honest, because Direct has so many statistics together, and one of the things Direct was working on, moreover than just the current statistics, is going through and trying to make a catalog of past statistics. I imagine once they get that new and improved our Rocket League website together, they're going to be utilizing a lot of they'll be using. I'm not gonna put it down by any stretch of the imagination.
I hope they do, because if they do, it's going to be
aspirations
huge.
and the plan are there, and once
That's
it's
good.
executed, we are going to have exactly what they said, something that makes us say Liquipedia what.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing right now is like they've tried to update the website a couple of times and they've made iterations that have gotten better. It's just so many things are either missing or like not updated, or doesn't even show that there's like an event going on. It's like,
I don't have any confirmation on it, but I feel like Direct is a big portion of that project, being able to put together a entire catalog of past.
I'm sure they're like working with the guys at like Octane GG for like stats and all that from the past stuff too, because there's just so much to go through.
Yeah, and it truly is incredible to see just how much there is and how much they've added to that top talent list. And yeah, I'm happy with what we were able to add, and Joey did one heck of a job throughout the season. RJ as well. Joey and RJ literally made CRL what it was this season.
Oh yeah.
Especially given the lack of like I encourage both you and Seb, like what Ryan was able to do every single time with bringing, an organized, like he had everything down to the macro for each and every one of our broadcasts. Like I understand Ryan, different people, not everybody's going to be Ryan. Not everybody's going to be able to put together a spreadsheet and plan out every single question.
I feel like at some point that's too much too, though.
It can be, yes.
Then it becomes robotic,
Yeah.
It's not organic. But again, that's like different styles,
Well, that's the other thing. Like, I thrive off of that personally because it's very easy for me to loose cannon myself and bring a level of content that is spectacular. But it's very easy, and Seb's been suffering. Like, I think I tried to tell, actually, I think you were in the voice call when I told Seb, it's like, yeah, try to make it a little sharper. He's struggling with the same thing that I struggled with for so long, and that is the bits, the moments of character are so good that it can derail. It's so good that it detracts from the exact moment in the spot that you're in. So, like, some of my best moments have been when Ryan's been on the desk and we've been able to completely obliterate everything with the content that we had. Like the Guy Fieri Chia Pet clip from like 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Like, we completely destroyed everything with that remark. We were completely off script. Everything was gone. But immediately after we did that, because the structure was there, we were able to get right back on track, and it didn't take anything away from anyone. Like, that moment was a great moment. But it wasn't a moment that we ended up lingering on for the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that we had that structure in place and we had, this is what we're going to next, immediately on it. We had a brilliant, this laugh among laughs, and we were able to just jump straight into the next question afterward. And that was one of the reasons why I really appreciated that sort of structure, because I understand that I can... not everybody in their pre-show is talking about, hey, you can find me at Walmart for $19.99. That was such a stupid line.
Lordy.
Still to this day, one of my favorite clips and moments on the desk. But yeah, oh gosh. I'm never gonna be like, yeah, you need to be exactly like this. It's like, if I'm ever like that, you tell me off to my face, please. But having little elements of organization to where you know what's next in case something does get derailed, oh boy, is that such a good quality to have.
I mean, that's why the run of shows that Penguins like been putting together are so helpful, because like, especially for the pre-show, having that outline with a begin and end kind of area where you need to be like, okay, this is where you should be starting the segment. This is where you should be ending the segment.
Yeah.
This is what the segment's called. And then, like, we have a graphic or we don't have a graphic. And if we don't have a graphic, then,
yeah, I feel
spend
like
some time with it and have fun with it.
You found
it makes it so much easier.
You found a really good balance, both utilizing that and making sure that you were concrete on the times, as well as adding some of the questions, etc. So, like, you utilize what was given, but you also were able to go off script and create organic moments. So, like, credit to you. That was really good stuff throughout the season.
Curtis questions at the
oh
for the interviews.
My gosh. Okay, Curtis,
to get the beef going.
Curtis questions are really good, but the one habit, and I actually talked to him at the end, and I did it almost on behalf of everybody in the staff behind the scenes. It's like, bro, love the fact that you want those one last question moments. It'll be really quick, but try to narrow those down to like one a broadcast.
Yeah.
Because when you do it 3 times in an hour pre-show, and each time it's only going to be just really quick, and that really quick is 1 to 2 minutes each and every time, outside of the one time where the guy straight up tells you, yeah, that's a really tough thing to answer. I'm going to get going.
Yeah. That's what's like, you know what? Let's wrap it up there.
Yeah. And I hate the fact that moment fell flat, because the question was stellar. I love adding a little bit of the beef. But when you have to, well, I can't easily answer that question, so we're going to give you a non-answer, no comment on that. Everybody,
yeah. I mean,
it completely destroys everybody.
Yeah, that's when it comes down to like reading the mood and kind of the answers of the person you're interviewing there, because like Lion Blaze, he knows who he is. He's confident. He's got all this stuff going for him. So like asking him who's like talking the most shit, that you could say that pretty easily. But for some of those players who were kind of shy with some of their answers, it's like you won't really be able to get much out of them. So you just got to keep it to a simple point that you're leading them into the answer with the question itself, essentially, because otherwise they're just going to get lost.
Yeah. And I mercy. Curtis, I had a lot of complimentary things to say about Curtis, though, the behind the scenes, just because the amount of work he's put in.
Oh, yeah.
The challenge for Curtis specifically, and I feel like this is public information enough that I can say it, was like everybody knows Curtis is probably the best play-by-play in the history of Rocket League. I think
he's
I
great.
think I can say that. Yes, it's a very challengeable statement. People can go like Shogun, Jorby. Curtis has that level of polish and has had it for 3-4 years.
Oh yeah. But got to go off of that polish sometimes,
well, yes.
Depending on the broadcast and the level of competition. And I think that's been the biggest crux for Curtis.
Yeah, and the challenge for him was, hey, we know you're really good at play-by-play. Let's show everybody how flexible you can be. Let's focus, and that was literally the request of Curtis. Like, put me in spots where I'm with other play-by-play only style people. That way I force myself to do more color commentary.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, he was in spots with hybrid masters and like a Curtis Danger Taco.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That, my goodness, that sounds special. Like, they were both able to roll into color spots, play-by-play spots. It was probably the smoothest cast that we had the entire season. And the hype never stopped. It came down here and there for, they were able to raise and lower the hype levels, but we never lacked a moment. Like, we never had a moment where it was like, oh, well, this could have been better. No, it was actually good throughout. Wow. Yeah, he killed it. My goodness, did he ever kill it? I'm really looking forward to what is the future for CRL Fall. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm really hoping, like, there's a lot of good things that I've heard potentially being what happens, and there's a lot of bad things I've also heard being rumored. And
I think that's also like esports in general, though.
Well, yeah.
Because we're all in kind of like this limbo period where there's less and less events happening. It's like, okay, what's going on?
My hope is there are more opportunities for CCA takeovers for CRL.
Yeah.
Or there's more integration of the talent pools that we have. Because
that's the way to do it, right?
Yeah. And I really do. Maybe somebody from Psyonix is watching at this moment. Thank you for allowing this talent pool the opportunity to be on mainstream, not once, not twice, but many times throughout this last season.
Oh, yeah.
Like, those are special freaking moments, and hopefully nobody makes that moment their best. Like, hopefully everybody is still trajectory up, keeping their arrows aimed for the sky, and don't stop firing. Because yes, it's really cool to be on the Rocket League main stage for 15,000 people at a time. That way they can all tell you how bad you are and complain about the fact that drops aren't working, dang it!
Oh, man.
That definitely doesn't need to be anybody's high of their career. Oh, mercy. My hope, and I think I lined it out the best in my my mission statement for this summer series and going forward in general. It's like, whether it be in Rocket League or not, I want to see every single one of us improve ourselves to a level where we can be professional in whatever fate, the Lord, whoever you want to believe in, sends our way. Because, oh my, do we have a golden opportunity every time we get the chance to crack the mic.
True.
Every single time we have a chance to crack the mic. That is such a beautiful moment, and it is second to none, and we need to make it that way. Because when we do, special things happen. Anywho, thank you for the hour monologue.
Hell yeah, man.
Well,
I mean, I'm always down to
duologue.
talk when I'm free.
Oh, mercy. Yeah, we had a good one.
And there's even more to talk about next time.
Yes. And I'm over here. I'm still adjusting my equalizer throughout. Did I sound the same the entire time, or?
There's like minute changes, you know.
Minute
How it
changes.
goes.
It sounds okay right now. Like
Yeah,
what?
it
What
sounds
are you
great.
hearing? Sounds great. Hey, baby. Let me tell you about our friends at Bush's. You see, Duke, he likes his beans.
I really hope Bush's does a Fall Guys tournament though,
Oh,
because they are
please.
literally called beans.
Please.
The characters are called beans. That is the like biggest
That'd be
no-brainer.
the ultimate. Actually, yeah, I feel like that's a tweet. Like version 1. At version 1 at Bush's. Can we please have a community Fall Guys tournament sponsored by Bush's?
Exactly.
That
all we
way
need.
the beans can have some beans. Oh, that would be so good. That would be so very good.
I definitely say like this summer series, production wise, was taken to another level, which is nice to. If you like compare the broadcasts to like previous iterations,
Yeah.
it's just crazy to see how far like not just the talent but the production has gone.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. The production side was awesome. I do feel like there was a big difference in the way that the talent felt. So it genuinely felt like everybody was like they took the pep talk to heart, and everybody was casting it like they were auditioning for their lives.
Hell yeah.
And that really needs to be the environment that we're trying to create for ourselves, because we raise our own level when we do that. It gets noticed by the people who are above us, and they're like, hey, we need to keep on going because these guys are coming. Like they
Well, it's also
want
a thing.
they want
Like
our jobs.
say, yeah. Well, not even that though. Like say, some random company listens to a cast at one
Mhm.
point in time. You want to make sure that one chance that you have is the best foot forward that you can put.
Absolutely.
And you got to do that every time because you never know who's listening.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But even if you don't have the greatest time, you just got to take that in stride. Sometimes it happens to everyone, you know?
Yeah.
And just move on from there. Might have had a bad broadcast, but as long as you kept things going, kept yourself in it, maybe you had some flubs, as long as you didn't do anything crazy,
you know,
something you can work on.
flubs are the best thing, though. Like, you
Yeah.
want to have a few flubs here and there, because if you don't, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm working on my gain right now. I'm sorry.
It's all
I'm
good.
over here. I'm looking directly at my mic meter. I'm also looking at the mic in my vMix audio mixer. And I think I might have found the sweet spot.
Nice.
Let's go. Too much gain, not a good thing. Too little gain. Yeah, you can ruin your lunch that way. Actually, too little gain can be compensated for.
Yep.
But too much gain, oof. Even if it's 1 single megahertz too much, ruin that high-end moment. Feels bad, man. But yeah. Oh my gosh, the gate is so... Okay. So maybe I need to drop the threshold a little bit more.
I just got distracted by the clean entry of the baked beans that I tried on stream because I didn't realize how clean I did that, and I am putting that in my reel. That is going to be my ad read spot.
Yes. Oh, 100%. Like you had a couple really good bean integrations. Bean integrations? Is that wow. Okay, yeah, we go with that. You really integrated those beans. I love it. Oh, let's see here. I might just end early. I need to go to flippin' bed. I hate it. College football back in session. Kansas State is playing Missouri. Give me the border war, dang it! Bunch of head empty babies. Oh, we don't want to play against Missouri anymore because they went to the other conference. Oh, we don't want to play against Kansas because they smell funny. Imagine having the third oldest rivalry in all of college football. And then deciding, because of conference differences, you end that. Oh.
Wow, that's stupid.
It bugs me to no end. Like, I mean, not everybody understood how big a rivalry Kansas-Missouri was. But like the Civil War ties, like if you don't know the Civil War ties, you're talking about two states that had interior conflict, all the while were hating on each other. And so it's like you had people from both sides in both states. Yeah, mercy. Oh my goodness, there is so much to that. I love when they decided to call it the Border Showdown instead of the Border War because Border War wasn't politically correct anymore.
True.
But it still had the same intensity of a stinking war. The two teams that hate each other, the two fan bases, they want to go to war every single time. Everybody will remember the Ohio State versus Michigan's. Everybody will understand. They'll think Harvard, Yale. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those dumpster dives before. That's one way to refer to the game, as it were. But
Oh man. I mean, the rivalries just get like crazy the way that like college football goes. It's insane because that just started this past weekend, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. This past week we got our first week of college football, and
nice.
Well, no, excuse me, 2 weeks ago, because there were a couple teams that played, and it was almost it was borderline, nay, under the radar. But it was like a pre-week one. So like the official week one was this week. Apparently, like Florida State played Hawaii or something like that, if I remember correctly. But yeah.
I'm gonna go snag some food myself. It's been a great talk, Kendo.
Yes, sir. I do appreciate your time. We have like 10 minutes left, but nobody else has shown up here other than Curtis, and I think I am just going to end it like 10 minutes early.
I could talk for 10 minutes more though about random casting stuff though. If you wanted to do that, I would not mind.
You know what? I'm gonna let you save it and think about.
I'll save it for next time.
Think about what you we gave you a week this month. What would the topic be? So
oh gosh,
that would be the direction I think we should go with that, because I'd love to have you on and give us an hour or so where we can just back and forth a topic that you're passionate about.
Oh man, I have to write some down and throw a dart at a dartboard with them all. Exactly which one.
And that's the best part. Like we can do this multiple times. So
true.
But I think having you involved and then growing it that way would be brilliant.
Hell yeah. Sounds good.
Oh,
thanks, Kendo. It's been a great talk.
Much love, man. I truly appreciate you. And yeah, everybody who is currently in the chat or was hanging out all day, much love to you. This is going to end up going to YouTube very shortly. And hopefully everybody will be able to catch it on the flip side. But that was Casting Workshop, first one of September. We will see you next week for it. We don't do all the normal Kendo stream ends. We just do a straight up cold close like this. Bye.